Well, is it a Hermitcraft live stream or is it a Snapshot live stream? Because we're going to be doing both today. But it is a stream on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma, also on the TikTok at XisumaTT. Let's log on to Hermitcraft first. Yo, so today an amazing snapshot dropped with some absolutely wonderful changes in it. And I want to investigate them a little bit further. I don't think we're going to discover too much more. But you know, I'm really looking forward to poking around and learning what we can learn. We're also going to be on Hermitcraft, and I was actually recording something for the snapshot over here, but I decided to cut it from the video. In this snapshot, they also made it so that 3D models can be rotated at any degree, basically. Currently, they're being rotated at 45 degrees, and the limit was like 22.5, so you can kind of imagine like halfway between those 2 points, you could have like a rotation on a 3D model. So that's changing. There was also some nether bug fixes in the snapshot that I just decided to cut from the video because they had removed something that I didn't really understand, and there wasn't really an explanation of what it was, but supposedly something that broke a lot of technical community contraptions, and they reverted the change. So there's a couple of things in today's snapshot that I cut. I might just cover them in the next video if there's time for it. You know, if we don't have a lot of content to talk about, might end up doing something like that. But yeah, we'll poke around in a little bit. I think while people tune in, we'll get settled over here. These faces, I think these are from the charity stream event, where the hermits had to like make faces in game and then make them IRL. I don't know what's happening with this area, if there's going to be like a tidy up or anything after, but oh, there's another face and another one. It's a little chaotic over there, right? We're gonna go back to the pixel art project. Gonna, I think, put Link or Zelda in. Oh no, actually I changed my mind. I thought Tetris. I thought Tetris might be a cool one to put in. So doing that today as well. Anyway, that's me waffling and ignoring my own chat. Dragon Lily, expelled, welcome. We got many regulars here as well. Bang Clam, welcome to the stream. Sky Blue Rose, Anti-Brint, Song Snakes, Digital Chaos, Repairman Dan, welcome everyone, welcome. Ender Void Wolf, thank you for using your Prime subscription on me. That is 36 months. Incredible, my dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I had to think for a second. It's 3 years, isn't it? 3 years. I was going to say 1.5, and I was like, that's not 1.5, it's 2. No, wait, no, it's, what are you on about? It's 2. There's a number there. What is it? It's 3. It's 3 years. 3 times 12. Waiting for the TNT minecarts leash to Ghast. Yeah, so I want to test leashing minecarts and other entities. This is... I should have probably dropped some of that stuff off back where we were. This is all from the charity thing. Oh well. I'll find out what's going on with that and help out probably at some point. Right, we need rockets. I kind of need Tetris images. Yeah, I knew I was going to do Tetris, and now I'm thinking, okay, like, Tetris pieces, but then maybe we want them arranged? Maybe this is going to be a little more complicated. Maybe I'll just do Link. I'm looking up some Tetris art, like... I wonder if, like, putting all the blocks together and having some dropping into place might look a little better. I think I might pass on Tetris. I think I might want to put a little bit more effort into this one. Have to think about it, because we get to arrange these pixels whichever way around we like, right? I could also put in the logo, maybe? Go back to the ideas list then. Undertale, Bubblebop, Flappy Bird, Frogger, Dig Dug, Doomface, Doomguy Face, Tetris. I think I'll just put in the Link one for now. I think that makes sense. The trick to Tetris pieces is that they are all made from 4 squares, and on an unrelated note, I wonder whether where they got their name. I was also thinking making them 2x2s would probably make a lot more sense. Let's just head over there. Yo, David Jensen 12. Thank you for your Prime subscription, my dude. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the the stream today. Make an epic T-flip scene. What does that mean? T-flip scene? Not quite sure. 5 minutes in, I got a hot cup of tea. Let's have a sip. Oh, some primo slurpage. B-Dubs put out another video. This ain't spoilers no more. But one thing it is absolutely glorious. God, look at this architecture, right? Whew. Something to marvel at, something to marvel at. Although this bit clearly isn't finished. I mean, it's not the backside, but it's the side. A side that hasn't been finished. B-Dubs genuinely scares you sometimes. Well, like a jump scare when you see a good build. Can you imagine that? You see a really good build and it makes you jump. Oh! My god, that's good architecture. So sad you can't play around with the Snapshot. It's broken on Linux. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, I'll be playing around with it shortly here, I think. Yeah, look at this. It looks really cool. Should probably sleep. Which is something I can do anywhere now because Exile is over. That being said, I kind of feel like before we get building we should flip over to the Snapshot. Which will probably take long enough for daytime to pass. Let us now be clever and change the view. Hey! It's the parrots from the thumbnail. Right, we want to test things out, right? Like I had an interesting question of like fence to fence, and then we want some minecarts. We want to try that out. There's going to be a bunch of entities we want to try here. I doubt they would have changed this though. Like, yeah, right click to get in. Shift right click doesn't do anything. But you can put a thing inside of a minecart. This is true. This is truth. You know this. So like that. Don't be awkward, piggy. Thank you. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Magic. Magic is about to happen. Oh, it gets them out of the minecart. But that... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. But then... yeah, it doesn't want to do it. But you can... Wait a second. Wasn't one of you in a second ago? When it was leashed. I thought one of them was in while it was leashed to the other. Ah. So depending on where this rail goes, it could end up pulling the other piggy around, maybe? Putting a couple more there as well. Don't just stand in the middle though, buddy. Yeah, that does what we want it to do. Alrighty, let's do this. Give you a little nudge. Ha! That's amusing. That's amusing. Can you pull a boat with a pig with a saddle riding it? We're gonna get lost here. There's gonna be so many ideas, right? Yo, Penelope, thank you so much for 32 months, half a stack, much appreciated. We also had Dragon Lily gifting a sub to Sivanox. We always appreciate a gifting of the sub. Thank you for doing that. Very kind of you. Where are my notes? Here they are. Okay, so what did we just learn? Can't leash minecarts. Can leash one entity in a minecart to one outside. but not obviously not together. That's why I avoided it that way. All right, what about the saddle then? Now the only thing that can ride the saddle in survival is the player. Like I can't put another mob on that and then do something with that. What if I was to just get on as well? This is interesting. I reckon you might be able to find uses for this. Like if ever you wanted to make a mini game where you controlled where the mob went, like this is kind of getting close to something like that, right? Like let's actually do this. Let's actually make what I'm talking about. Song Snake says, "Yeah, oh my god." The thing is, I don't know to what thing I just said you're saying oh my god to. Is it to this idea? Because this is like an oh my god kind of idea, right? Just you wait, just you wait. Just you wait. Let's go. No. Fill. Go one higher. And then I don't know what material. What would look nice? I'm just gonna go. Whoops. Oh yeah, I've got to get the other coordinates. I'm gonna go with white concrete, I think. 65. Okay, so one above, one below. That's a bit of a problem, son. Let's go type equals top. Like that. There we go. There we go. Huh. Oh, you stopped it, you cheeky devil. My experiment cannot be completed now. Also, this might move too fast for it, but we'll see. Oh yeah, there's that. Like, how does this work again? Wait, I didn't actually spawn one, did I? So I think we have to get that one first. Perfect, perfect. Wait, no, you're in the wrong place, piggy. You're in the wrong place, and I don't have a sword. Sorry. Pork chops. Bam. Let's put you up here. Look! I'm trying to do science. Okay, wait. Just wait. In a ways, I am now controlling its pathfinding. So, if you needed a pig to wander in a specific direction, this is possible. I like this, I like this. Mixanu says, I love having no context as to what's happening. Yeah, I can imagine it'd be pretty fun. Especially with the stuff in the background like this. Just, yeah, things happening. I love the way the horse just put its legs up as it landed. Yo, Pimfluenza, thank you for subscribing. Also, SGTYOA, thank you for 6 months with the Prime. Much appreciated, my dude. Excess Animal Cruelty, Beanie Bees, that's a computer game. You're confused, you're very confused. Oh, they're visiting. They're like, what's going on over here? By the way, these ghasts are leashed together. Alright. Next test. Yeah, you can't leash these together. I can't help but feel that might be a good idea to let players do that for detail. Now what you can do, if I do it correctly. Getting you no. Wait. I guess no, maybe that makes sense. Maybe you can't leash it twice. I thought for some reason. There you go, you can do that. But I wasn't able to get that one over here. Still getting used to all of this. Okay. Wait. I've earlier today I had this all sussed out. Yeah, I don't think it's possible actually, because the way the fences work is slightly different to entity. So you can't even put one between them. But yeah, rope fence would be cool. That was something I wanted to check. Let me make a note. Okay, just making more notes from what we're doing here. Keeping track of all the stuff we learn. It's confusing, but you love it. Right, what other things should we try? Rope fence like a slingshot. Oh, like, as a custom feature? No, I don't think I'll add that. Interesting animals leashed to the Ghast don't sink in water. I think what you'll find is that animals don't sink in water anyway. Like, that's not something they do. Leash your mob to an LA and have the LA follow you. Interesting idea. So I'm going to give the LA an LA egg, because that's just creative mode playing right there. Okay, and then... yeah, I have to do that, don't I? Ha! Got it. No. We'll do this. Oh, not the whole thing! Interesting. I think the snapping thing might break here, or you might get pulled along. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Me and this little piggy. And I think the leash just broke, right? We can do better than this. Ugh. Right, now let's travel. It's like the sheep's trying to go somewhere else though, isn't it? Look. Oh no. The pig is also stopping it. So it's like who's in control here, right? If I do that, okay, I understand. So now what I'm gonna do, this is not what I want to do. I still don't want to do that. What I'm going to do is take you and put you on that one. And then punch that. Now, the LA was second. So the mob that gets equipped second is the one... that, like, can lead, I think. It looks like that. Let's grab a potato. Excuse me. So now, yeah, now you're not able to resist where the LA wants to go, maybe? So I think what we need to do is put down some items over there, walk away, and the pig doesn't have priority, does it? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what we just saw. Okay, let's try this again. I kind of want to do a better job of confirming that. Oh, wait. Now we should be able to. Yeah, it's like, it stops. It stops. I think of another way to test this. I'm gonna go over here. So that's over the distance, right? So this will be a good test. Right, so if I'm here, right, we're attracting the pig, but now... Didn't I just put the items in it? Yo, is it like one shot? I counted 15. Obviously not. Let's try that again. Piggy, over here. Over here, bro. Yep. You want the potatoes, but you can't have them. I see how this works. You want the potatoes, but oh no. Oh no. Alright, so there's like a who got leashed. Leashed. second, follow priority. Right, interesting. Quite a few things to discover here, isn't there? More noises in the ear. Kaya Cone is here, gifting subs to Gooble Gloob, Super Mares, and Jinxed Rose. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. You got gifted a sub. How cool is that? Thank you for your generosity, my dude. Vinot is here for 23 months. I was able to continue my sub again. On my way to the 2-year anniversary, I go. Thank you for being a wonderful creator. Thank you for the lovely message, my dude. I appreciate it. Very, very kind of you. Very cool. You had an allay carry an iron golem, a sniffer, and a horse at the same time. Yeah, I guess you can do that, right? You should try and try a camel attached to a happy ghast. Already done that. That was in the video. Iron golem attached to the happy ghast. It seems kind of comical. I'm pretty sure I didn't put those sheep in that boat. They just got picked up. So, like, happy ghasts are going to be accidental catchers of things. Right, oh, hello. The allay. Oh my god, you could use the allay, like, to fly a mob across water and stuff, right? Oh, this really is crazy game-changing stuff. Okay. Gonna have that, gonna have that. Ugh. Now, that's actually not doing the thing it did for the other mobs. That's just 2 leads attached, which I've not seen that happen before. Interesting. It's not done the 4 leads attached thing like over here, with the extra stuff around the side of it. It's just literally 2 where they're leashed to each other, which might mean the Iron Golem is in charge here. I'm not sure who's in charge of pathfinding. The Happy Ghast might also override that. But that Iron Golem don't look happy. Oh, and in the movie there's an Iron Golem that wears the boots of swiftness. I reckon it'd be there's things in the Minecraft movie I think they should bring to the main game. And I think having a special rare Iron Golem could be fun. There are a few other things I saw here and there I thought were cool as well. Yeah, I saw the Minecraft movie today. It's good. It's funny. It's a fun time. I will say its target audience is definitely like junior school, you know, sort of like 13 and younger. But you can watch it as a family and it is fun. It is good fun. It's full of jokes and the tone is kind of zany. I liked it. It's most definitely a Minecraft movie, yeah. Yeah, friends said the movie was a 3 out of 10, but the theater experience was a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I think sometimes numbers aren't so great, like, for describing stuff, right? Like, if I had been my usual derpy self, I could have easily gone in and been, like, critiquing that movie as if it was supposed to be some sort of masterpiece, right? Fortunately, some people said the right things to me before watching it, and it got me in that mindset of like, oh, this is just gonna be like silly fun, and it's gonna be for a younger audience, and that helped me enjoy it. And I think if you're young, you're gonna have a great time with it. I think if you're any age and you've got the right mindset, you'll enjoy it. But you know, how does it compare to Schindler's List? Like, right, what's the point in making that comparison, right? Like, it doesn't hit you on those like classic movie levels, right? It's not that sort of movie. The movie was fine. The popcorn shower I got from the kids behind was not. Was that at the chicken jockey bit? Some movies are definitely not meant to be watched critically. Yeah. Also, it helped. I learned at the charity event that the director was Napoleon Dynamite. The guy who made that, so that helped me like as well think, oh, it's that kind of like let's have some fun movie. Yo, Spirit of the Dark 666, thank you ever so much for the Prime. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you. If you think about it, the 20-something plush crowd that's upset with the way the movie turned out would have been the target audience a decade ago when they started the movie. They grew up while the movie remained its childlike humor. I don't know about that, because at different points in time, I think Minecraft was quite different. If you go back to the very beginning of Minecraft, which I was around for, kids didn't play it at the very beginning. Kids did not play it. It was not a kids game. It was available to sort of probably like teenagers and young adults who are online via computers, right? Because back then, like the ubiquity of mobile phones wasn't quite here. The game wasn't on different consoles, and so its target audience at one point in time was quite different, and it's changed over time. So, like when they were making the movie at a different point in time, it probably meant something different as well. I don't think it, like the movie it is now, is what it was going to be originally. What other stuff should we test? If you put a zombie down, do you know if the golem would ghast to it? I see what you're getting at. It is also nighttime. Daytime. It's trying to. No, maybe not. Doesn't have to be provoked first, though. Provoke! Provoke and die! This is terrible testing. This is just silly. I should probably use a snowball here, right? Yes, come this way, come this way. So now that thing is getting proper attacked. I don't even know what we're trying to observe here. The Iron Golem is just getting in a world of pain. It seems to be pretty leashed to the Ghast, though. Like, the Ghast is in control here. Skeleton provoke at distance? Yeah. Try to get multiple snow golem in one ghast to see if it showers down any mob with snowball. Oh, we've done that before. Make the LA carry the iron golem across the ocean. That's something I could do. I want to investigate. I'm sure there were one or two other ideas related to something or other, like entities or maybe boats, like getting a mob in a boat and then flying it. I mean, that's kind of, we've seen that over here, right? And what's crazy is that you could leash other stuff to it. What if I leashed another boat? So, like, let's say we had more sheep. They're beating at, no, what bleat? Bleat, sheep bleat, right? Get in the boat. Just make my life easy. Where'd that? Oh, there you are. Okay, there you are. So if I come over here and I'm like, ugh. Oh my god. Like, we can set up an absolute chain. Hold up. Ha! Yo, this is gonna happen on Hermitcraft. I'm calling it now. We're gonna make some sort of, like, Ghast isolation station in the sky and then just have mobs dangling for infinity. This will probably get something like caught on a tree at some point, and then something will die because it's inside of blocks. Okay, and that literally just happened, right? It got caught behind, and now that's its life, just there. Scar's job just got a lot easier. It definitely did, yeah. Sounds like a Z advancement. It does, doesn't it? Can ghasts fly in the undervoid? Oh, the old undervoid, yeah, the undervoid dimension. Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, they added that like 7 years ago to the game, didn't they? The old undervoid. Do you mean under Bedrock? In which case, they probably can. You haven't seen Hermitcraft in forever. Well, it's going strong as ever. Let's say that. No signs of slowing down. Let's go effect, give Xisuma. Ye old night vision. Now, one of the things you can do if you're a super cheaty brain genius smarty pants like Impulse. Actually, let's not stray too far away from where we are. Let's do this the really fun way. Do you want to know what the really fun way is? It involves this stuff. Time for some really fun mining. Whoops, I put that in the wrong bit. Boom! Oh, the best bit was when the skeletons died. That was the best bit. Alright, let's do that again. Whoa! TNT. It always comes back to TNT, doesn't it? Keep the explosions going. Keep them going. Sweet. Right, so you come down to Bedrock, right? But then you're an absolute smarty pants with the pistons and the clever little tricks. Anyway, you want to clear out like a 4x4, right? I don't think that's too much effort. Well, actually, it probably is a lot of effort, but we'll get Impulse to do this. That's how that'll work. Sorry if you can hear me coughing. I've decided just to turn to my side, my other side. You know, the thing about this, though, is that that's the precise, like, size of it. Let's go get a harness. Let's get a snowball. Let's imagine all the people. Oh, I should write a song. Oh, it just popped into my head. That sounds really good. Let's go fill. No, not fill biome. Jeez. From here over to like here somewhere. Yeah, okay. But we fill in the gaps. Because that's what the fill command was supposed to do. Alright. Now we've got our own special little area. I think what we would do is obviously like fill in these sides to make like the approach down a little easier. Clear out a little bit more space over on this side. Around here as well, just so this thing can stay here. Give you that. You look very happy. Oh, which is literally your name. Yo, Faychild77, thank you for the prime. 8 months right there. Much appreciated, my dude. Luna2003 is here for 7. Thank you so much for your amazing support, peeps. Always appreciated. Hope you're entertained. Xisuma, your singing is good, says Hilma. I wasn't singing, was I? I never sing. What are you talking about? Right, let's ride. Let's roll, homies. Can we get this thing down there? This might prove to actually be quite difficult. Why am I going up when I'm pressing forward and looking down? Did I miss something here? Anyway, we know it can fit into that space, but guiding it into it might actually be kind of tricky. I think what we want, apart from maybe having a few more like blocks clearance here and there, I think what we want to do is like give you a nudge. Build this up a little bit more so you can like go into a corner and then go down. Which you probably would only need about that many blocks or less. Like you only need blocks in the corner. So we hit the corner. But now we're not going lower, even though I'm looking down, right? What's up with that? I should be able to go downwards. I can go up and then I can go back down again. But then it's like, no. Okay, I'm going to... Despite us knowing the size of this thing, I'm going to first just see... Do we actually need a 5x5 space? What I'm really hoping that there isn't like a minimum distance it'll drift down at. That would be really lame. Because we might just create the greatest transport network system ever here today. Like, just going underneath... underneath a world. To traverse across it, essentially. I feel like it's not go. Oh, now it is. Now it's going underneath. Oh my... Wait, let's switch game mode for a second. Oh, we're down here in survival, yo! Yo, that's mental! This is it. This is it right here. Minecraft's greatest mode of transport. We have just discovered it. Yeah, that is my thumbnail right there. Oh my god, you could actually just travel under the void and go visit your friends. Wow. Ah! Not wow. I flew into the bedrock. You can also kill yourself if you want to down here. Whoa, options. Okay. Now, like, you can't replace bedrock. You can, so it'd be incredibly tedious. Wouldn't it be so cool if you could just leave or, like, replace the bottom layer with, like, a direction, a guide? Yo, I gotta do something now. Like, look at this guy! Look at this poor guy! Like, this is where you live now, buddy. You ain't getting back out of here. Oh, poor lonely Ghast. Hang named mobs as sign markers. Yeah, that could be a way of doing it. Oh, man. I feel so bad for it. Like, just this idea of a Ghast being trapped below the world like that. Worse than the Nether for them. Yeah. There's other possibilities, like name-tagged things that you can see through blocks. I think you can do that with an armor stand, so you could make like a bunch of readable, maybe not even readable, maybe the idea is you just see them and follow them. Some of you want me to let them out. I'll remind you it's a computer game, but oh my god, this feels so lonely. Like, this guy actually can just live down here forever. And be happy. Yeah, this guy's playing pure stoicism over here. This guy's like, hey, I could be burning in lava. It could be worse than this. I'm gonna count my blessings. That's what this guy's saying. I'm in the overworld. Or under it. Can someone please remind me from time to time to never be a guinea pig for X? Yeah, never be a guinea pig for me. I'll do anything. I'll trap you under the world. I'm gonna leave him some company. Yeah, there you go, there you go. Happily ever after, together forever. Bye, guys! Bye. Okay. That is going on the list. Wow. Things you test in this game, I did not think that would be it. By the way, I do have some other stuff, although I think we've looked at it already. Like, when we have a new entity, we look at MBT tags, but I've already done that kind of stuff. I guess it's new blocks. Nah, you see, I've got this list of stuff to refer to, but not really. I'm going to delete the rest of my notes from today's video as well. Just so I've got all of my notes are in order again. Yeah, if I'm not making full sense, let me explain again. I have a list of stuff to test for entities and blocks when they get added to the game. Things like, you know, what do they look like on a map, but there isn't really much for us to learn from the Happy Ghast. And because we haven't got like a new block, we're just looking at yeah. Oh, they got stuck up here. Hilarious. Oh my god. Oh my god, I've just had an idea. I've just had a vision of something that looks so cool. And I'm thinking, oh my god, this could look really cool. And I can show you it and let you fill in your imagination, but like I think it looks better if I actually I'll get you like part of the way there, let's say that. Unfortunately, it'll just take me a long time to build without the usual building tools. I can see something beautiful. Let me go up here. Okay, got that instinct to use world edit, but we don't. Let's go with spruce planks. Oh god, this is going to be cool. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be insanely cool. Kind of need both rails now to think about it. Right, I'll tell you the key word here is probably to think about structure, yeah? That's going to be our keyword. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you know, it doesn't really matter. The whole thing's going to be these. This is going to be awesome. Now, like I said, I kind of wanna give you a full build, like a really big build, but I just won't have the time to do it in this stream. Like, what are we here for? We're not here for like weeks. It'd take weeks to build what I want to build. You're gonna have to use your imagination a bit, unfortunately. Anyway, I kind of want you to picture this as if it's like a massive bridge, which is why I got some fence posts in the inventory. I think I'm going to extend this a little bit further along. Oh, that's as far as it goes. Now, in order to get equal distance, do we start like one out? So I think we're talking about here. All right, so that's going to look like pretty reasonable. Then you probably want a bunch of like fence posts, and you can imagine some support pillars here. All right, that's what I want to get you imagining. I think this thing would probably need to be a lot wider. But we'll try it like this and see how it looks. Because I think with this being fence posts, we'll probably get away with it. But not here, actually. Like, I was sort of picturing these being big pillars. That wouldn't work. So, if we do that... Okay, we're starting to get somewhere. Like, we've got a bit of an aesthetic, right? We like that word. So we repeat this over and over again. But then on the outside here, this is maybe where you got your support pillar, right? Bring it all the way down to the ground. Go to the other side, do the same thing. If you get the scale and proportion of this correct, which I think you're probably looking, if you wanted to do this proper, you'd need this thing to be like 2 or 3 times the width. Right, not the length, the width, because you need to give yourself space to put in shape and detail. We're just sort of filling in the blanks of our imagination here. So we do this. Okay. I can get the blocks in the right place. That'd be nice. There you go. So you can picture that going over like a distance, right? Maybe from the side of a mountain into a castle. Across a river. Oh, Lord of the Rings, you know, like just epic fantasy building, whatever. Whatever. Picture it in your head, because it's going to be functional. It's going to do something. It's not just going to be pretty. I'm not just a pretty face, you know what I mean? Alright, so you got that. You know, we could probably ditch the torch, actually, and happily have this thing powered from beneath. So, we'll go ahead and remove that antiquated idea. Totally antiquated. Okay. Anyway. The magic's gonna come. Trust me, the magic's gonna come. We need a button at either end to activate it. Right, then we're gonna need a happy Ghast with a harness. Now, because this is gonna sit on a bridge, possibly made of stone going between a castle, I'm going to give it the black harness. That feels kind of like castle-y to me. Don't ask me why. I just think that's the one. Okay, now while you're there, please stay still, because I forgot something rather important. You are now in a minecart. Good. You know, the jiggliness, not so great. Anyway. Chest boat, actually. Chest boat, chest. Llama. Why not? Let's go ahead, do this. Might be tricky trying to achieve something like this up here. I think, didn't you have to tame it to get the extra chest? We'll use our imagination today. We'll use our imagination. Right, that's perfect. That's perfect. Now we need a lead. Okay. No! I did it wrong! Oh, it was all going so well. Okay, there we go. Lead the boat. Oh. Is that going to be a problem? No, it's not. Oh, it's still in the minecart, thank you. There it goes, there it goes, there it goes. It's doing what I wanted it to. Okay. Now it's arrived at its destination. Oh my god. Oh my god. We've got to send it back, right? Look at that! Like a delivery system just hanging out underneath. Come on, you got to admit that's amazing. Yo, God, man, something going on my throat today. Is Danny, thank you so much for 29 months. Almost at the big 30. You had a blast watching you for the past 29 months. Your stream's always super calming and entertaining. The best thing to watch after work. Keep it going, X. Appreciate you. Thank you for the lovely message, man. I really appreciate it. Yes, 2 months. 2 months. No, 29. Sorry, 29 months. It gives me... Twitch gives you 2 numbers. Like, with subscriptions. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different. I appreciate it, my dude. Thank you for the kind message. Look at this. Yo, Plebike Pleb, thanks for subscribing. Do you see the vision? Like, sending items back and forth between 2 locations, or maybe you, the player, just taking a ride on the undercarriage and just having your Ghast up here, like, going back and forth, doing the business. I think it'd be great. I may have gotten a touch overexcited. I think the builds would sell it more. Like, it's not massively functional, right? Yeah, that's a bit of a... yeah, there's a problem with using this type of boat. Let's get a regular boat on here. It kind of conflicts a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, so we'll do that. I've still got this other one here. Which I don't need it. I don't want it. What if we leash it to the entity? Oh yeah, that gets it out. Hey, look, there you go. Right. Back to business. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, and then I pressed it wrong. I did it wrong. At least that bit's right. Where's my snowball? Where's my snowball? Come up here, you. Oi! Do I have to ride you? I think I have to ride it. Yo, any other suggestions? How many leads can you attach to the Ghast? I think it's basically probably infinite is the way they would have coded it. And you'll probably find once you get like a certain amount, you'll just run into like other problems, you know? Okay, I think I need to get off now and go below it. Come on, little closer, a little closer. Perfect, perfect. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. That's not gonna work. Right, stay there. Come down to me. Look at me, Snowball, Snowball! Did you get it? Oh! Come on! In you get! No! Dear Lord! I mean, you snapped perfectly into... Oh, come back over here, you menace. Try to leash a cat to a creeper. How would you do that? How likely do you think it is that Mojang is going to take away the fun? I think they're giving us fun. I think they're giving us lots and lots of fun is the idea. Maybe if I break that block... Oh, dude, it's like literally pushing it. No! Oi! Come back! I demand it. Oh my god, gifted subs. Yo, down. Stay there. Oh, this is... I can just tell it's not going to happen, is it? Oh, because now I need it to move forward. If I stay here... Oh my god. Go that way. Oh, it's gone! It went away! I'm losing my mind now. Right, we need a button, I think. Actually, let's just put that there. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Come back! Yo, Hilma, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Super appreciated. Super appreciated. That is awesome. Thank you for supporting our community. I mean, there's a lot of them here. I'll read some names in a second. So those have to be gone in order for you to come downwards. And like, that is about as perfect as... Yes! Oh, that took so long. That took so long. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put a button at the end here. Right. The vision. Now we got 2 boats below. So, like, when you send this thing across, you can just have multiple things down here getting moved across. Now, I would love to add more, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess this up. Pretty sure I'm going to mess it up. So, General Sweatpants, Goo Monster, Eternal, Senshao, Pops 90, Saged Denim, Lord of the Yengus, Hugs the Creeper, Gamingomi, Memory Lane, Killer DSX. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. And if you did not know, you can use any type of subscription here to join the equivalent of our Patreon Minecraft server known as Let's Play Minecraft Together. Just started its 4th season. So if you got a gifted sub, you want to come check out our community, find out if it's a place for you, you can go to xisumavoid.com/getwhitelisted and you can hook up your Twitch subscription. Oh, let's test this before we actually do it. It lasts for 33 days, so there's like a little bit of overlap time with the next month. Right, okay. I'm slowly getting there with this stuff. Click normal, shift click. Got it. Click normal, shift click. Aha! I have mastered the boats! Me! Xisuma. They call me a derp. I don't know why. For I have mastered the boats. Dude, that's crazy. They've changed like the behavior so you don't get like endless bouncing back and forth chaos. Like, yeah, there's more like entropy here, which is good. So yeah, just imagine like having a bunch of chests on them and like sending things back and forth across a bridge. That could be a really cool project to have in your world. As for like automatically taking stuff in and out of these, that might be a little trickier. Yo, pleb like pleb, thank you so much for the donation. Hey Xisuma, I just wanted to say I've been watching you and Gem this season for Hermitcraft, and it's my favourite season I've watched so far. You two have helped me a lot recently. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm glad to have been a help. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying. I appreciate the tip. Very, very cool. I've enjoyed this season a lot. It's been a very close communal season, which has been really nice. With tripwire lattice and several boats and different height combinations, you can make complex music. Yeah, I would say if you wanted to make music, you could probably pick a lot better functions than this. What other tests do we want? Try a pig with a saddle. We did that earlier. You're seeing the start of a lag machine. It depends on how this stuff is coded. Like, they've removed or reduced the amount of like chaotic, continuous calculations of movement. You know, in the chain reaction, they neutralize pretty quickly. I think that means they probably optimized that code. Does it work? You missed it. I mean, like, what's the question? Because yes, you can put a pig on a saddle. Like, we did a bunch of stuff with that. Camel could work well, yeah. Hey, it's fun to see you experiment with a new snapshot. You finished a huge redstone project recently that could be interesting for some future season of Hermitcraft. Is there a good way to get the video to you? Twitter. Oh, you're not on Twitter. Blue Sky. Although I don't really check those mentions, to be honest. I do every once in a while, but like, I like checking my mentions just to catch things like that, you know, that I might be interested in. But I'm just off social media otherwise. Sick and tired of it. The rail thingy in a circle. Oh yeah, that stopped moving, didn't it? See, I could put a saddle on that and just ride around on top of that guy. The leads here, I think, might have pacified their pathfinding a bit as well. They just seem to stick in the same area. We should maybe test that on a few more groups of entities, right? Not just parrots. Oh yeah, it gets a bit tricky. The last one... How does it work again? You have to do something slightly different. Oh, did I just finish it? Yep, there you go. Let's see what happens with 3 of them together. They're just going to stay there? You could use any mob instead of the Ghast for the minecart thing. That's true. I think I just love the picture of the Ghast sitting on top of it. It's kind of what drew me to it. Like, imagine scaling up your bridge so that it, like, suits the size of the Ghast. Like, some of the posts on the sides come up and, like, you know, you got this big old bridge and then you just see a Ghast moving through the top of it every now and then, and, like, a bunch of things being transported directly below. Yo, I think this seems to pacify their pathfinding. And players can sit on it, says Bert. That's true, yeah, you could have 4 people cross the bridge at the same time. That'd be cool in a world with no elytras, you know. Do you think the Happy Ghast hint towards the content of the next major drop, i.e. Aether Dimension with Islands? I don't think it does, no. I think it is what it is. Mojang and Minecraft, like, there tends to be a lot of speculation about what they do. And they'll add stuff that I think people's imaginations can add so much more to. But the scope of what they're doing isn't that big. And if it were, I think it would be something they would probably work on in the background. What if there were 10 tied together? Yeah, this is the thing. Like, we could play a game of tying loads together if we really wanted to. It does get a little bit tricky, though. I think you do it that way around. No, I got it wrong. Then I got it right. Okay, so when I want to add one more, it's shift-click. Okay, so click, then shift-click. But then with the other one, it's going to be different. Click, shift-click. Click, shift-click. If I then have a lead with the one at the front, it looks like this guy's the leader, but it's not the one at the front. It's the brown one. Okay. No, I don't think I can then attach my own here, can I? Yeah, because that takes that one off of that. Oh, whoopsie. Now I've put 2 on the same one. Dang, I'm doing it all wrong. Anyway. Put you back to there. Oh, I'm messing it up now. Okay. Yeah, now they're all in a line again. But it's unclear here because it looks like the one that leads isn't the one at the front. So that's the one at the front. Right, I've taken you off. Do you know what? I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. So, shift click. Right, now they're all in a circle. And they see, then they stay, I reckon... Yeah, no, I think they lose their AI once there's a bunch of them done together, right? Okay. There's an interesting way of looking after them. Like, you, instead of like putting them into a little fenced off area, I mean, you would use the leads to tie them to a fence post, right? But then also you could just tie them in a circle and leave them alone. Pretty weird. Right. Any other testing ideas? Because we've done a fair few things, and I think we're running out of ideas. I mean, there might be a couple of interesting entities to mess around with here. You can't leash turtles. I wonder if you can leash tropical fish. Try the same thing on a villager. That is a great suggestion, because yeah, you can't do it on an aquatic mob. Okay, villagers are very interesting because we can trade with them, so leashing them would be nice. I thought I saw something about moving villagers in the post. I think the idea is that it allows you to do this. Oh, I thought I had the boat equipped. Okay. I saw you trying to sneak in. So now you can move around villagers like this. Which, I mean, you were always able to put villagers in boats and then move them yourself with a boat. But that's, you know, it's probably an improvement. Yeah, I don't think that's too major. Yo, Joel Duggan, thank you for the raid, my dude. How's it going? What did you think of the Minecraft movie? I saw you and Pix posted a podcast on it. I went and saw it today. And then I came home to find this old thing had been added. And, like, the angry ghasts in the movie had boats or something similar under them with piglins on. I was like, that'd be cool if we had that in the game. And then, what would you know? Got added today. That to raid and run. Fair enough, fair enough. Can you chain minecarts? Unfortunately not. Frog's gonna be leashed. Now we can use shears from dispensers. There was no mention of leads. I can't really see a scenario in which leads would work with it. Watching it jump's amusing. Did I write down about the allay in my notes? I didn't actually. Alright, these are things I might just show off in my next Snapshot video because quite interesting discoveries. What do I think of the chicken jockey meme? I'm aware that it's like a cue to throw popcorn around in the cinema. Like, it's not the worst thing ever. It's not behavior I'm particularly impressed with. I think a lot of stuff like that, like, sometimes you can take things a little too seriously, and sometimes things can be a bit more good-spirited than they look. Like, it's easy, you know, to start thinking about, like, you know, oh, entitled kids causing a mess, creating waste out of food. It's easy to go in a negative direction. Sometimes it's a little harder to think, well, you know, are they having a good time? Are they having a laugh with their friends? Does this bring them some joy? I don't think it's the worst thing to create a bit of mess in the cinema if it brings kids and stuff a lot of joy. But at the same time, like, is it in the right environment? Because you can kind of imagine that it promotes things like a lack of discipline, or I don't know. It's easy to then think, oh, these kids are causing a ruckus and they're misbehaving and stuff. So, like, I can picture a, you know, a bad behavior kid who's, you know, going to cause trouble and stuff at school, also doing something like chicken jockey. I can also see really well-intended kids having a good time and just participating in it. So it's just one of those things. I don't know. It's easy to just come to a quick opinion on it, but really, like, maybe it's not as big a deal as you think. The poor theatre employees who have to clean up afterwards, says Mixon No. The thing with that is that, like, yes and no. Like, it's what's behind it. Like, if someone's really inconsiderate and just, like, making a mess, mean-spirited, like, cleaning up after them is frustrating. But, like, cleaning up after some kids who have just had a really good time and, you know, weren't even thinking about that. They were just enjoying the movie and doing the meme thing and throwing the popcorn. It feels less of a big deal. So I guess I kind of see it as, like, it can swing in different directions. It can be good-spirited. And plus, if you're the person cleaning up after and that's your job, like, for most of the time, you're going to be annoyed if people are doing it to spite you. That's never nice, you know. But then if it's just done from a place of, like, innocence and fun and they had a good time, I don't mind cleaning up after someone who's just had a good time, you know, like, I'm happy they had a good time. So it's one of those things. It's just like, it's not the root cause of a problem, but if there's a problem, it's more likely that, you know, a problem child will engage in that kind of behavior. I get it, but it says the cinema isn't a place to make a mess, it's a place to enjoy a movie. You know, there are actually chicken jockey screenings of Minecraft in certain cinemas where they say you can come and do the chicken jockey thing. You know, it's weird. I've worked theatre cleanup. I can promise you they don't care what spirit it's done with. A mess is a mess and it takes ages. If you're fine with people making a mess in good fun, be prepared for sticky floors and stale popcorn everywhere all the time. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, it doesn't seem like that big a deal to me. Anyway, let's hop back over to Hermitcraft now. I think we're done with our testing. It's a symptom of selfishness and stupidity. Minimum wage doesn't make up for dealing with that. I could pick apart both sides of what you said there. Like, like, it can be a symptom if you do it selfishly and stupidly. If I could try and better explain what I'm trying to say, like, if you put yourself in the minds of those people doing it, have you not ever yourself done something inconsiderate to someone else, but been completely ignorant of it? Like, you just don't know because you're not thinking about that, and it doesn't come from a place of, you know, negligence or malfeasance or whatever, right? Have you also maybe participated in some antisocial behavior where you know someone picks up what's left behind after you, and it's part of why you do it? I've done both of those things in my youth. I've you know, made messes because I was having fun and not a care in the world, and I've also made them because I've been mean-spirited and angry and not know how to express myself. So, like, that's the way I look at it. It's like, it can be done in both spirits. That's the problem, though, that you're not thinking about how your actions impact others. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, like, as an adult, like, I don't really have a desire to begin with, but one of the things I think of is, like, someone has to clean this up after me, so I'm probably not going to do it, right? I just think as someone who, you know, if you go in and clean up after and stuff, like, it would bother me less knowing, like, it's just kids having a good time and they don't know any better. It would annoy me if it were like, these are kids that should know better, right? And that probably mostly comes with age, I'd imagine. My only real problem with the argument you're making, X, is if that they are throwing popcorn, sure. If they're throwing soda, which you've seen people complain about, can ruin things forever. Yeah, no. I'm with you on that. Like, there are points at which, like, what I'm saying falls apart a little bit, and I think soda we can agree on. There's a big difference between a bit of popcorn landing in and around you and soda, I guess. Soda's pushing it for me. Like, that's ridiculous. There is a line, and mature people know not how to cross it. And, you know, the majority of people watching this movie are not mature. They are children. You know? That's why, to me, I think I defer to spirit. Like, what's the spirit of this behavior? I think, so you know, I don't know what it is broadly. Like, this can't mind read and stuff, right? I think there'll be probably angrier, angsty teenagers, young teenagers going in who will be doing it to cause a ruckus and a mess. And then there'll be young kids just having fun and copying what others are doing, right? Right, we're going to put in Mario next, I've decided. Grabbing these Mario colours right here. I should put this on my other screen now. Mods, you're no longer on my screen. I apologise. Mario's taking your spot. The problem, though, it's even adults that do it, not only children. Oh, that kind of sucks. Blocking the screen with piggyback rides and sitting on other shoulders is what makes me annoyed. I'm just trying to see the screen. I hadn't seen that. That's, yeah. I mean, I remember something like this happening, like, a while ago. Can't tell you specifically when, but every now and then some movie has some sort of like meme-y level of audience participation, right? And then we all get talking about what's okay and what's not. Y'all can't see Hermit? Really? Oh, that's weird. It didn't close. I closed it and it just stayed open. Okay, well, here we go. There was a group that brought a live chicken into the movie and ditched it outside some random house after. Yeah, that is all out terrible. Now, I'm not into this apology stuff. It's bad behaviour and done for a bad reason. These kids should have some degree of self-awareness as empathigulia. Can you not sort of put yourself in the mind of a child that just doesn't know better? Like, kids copy and imitate and do things, and sometimes they don't know better. Remember, the age that are going to see this movie, a lot of them are just young and impressionable. And I can just imagine some nice, well-behaved kids joining in with it because it seems like fun. Alright, where's Mario going to go? I think I might just put Mario in this spot over here. Or... I don't know how much stuff we want to squeeze in here. Do we want to make it feel like a real tapestry? Because I could possibly put Mario just in this spot. I agree, X. Most immature kids not thinking about it. I've seen plenty of young adults do this too. Yeah, as I said a moment ago, like I can imagine some angsty teenagers in high school or whatever. Like, that demographic should probably know better and would be more inclined to do it for mischievous reasons. I remember being this age, right? Like, I used to do stupid, dumb stuff out of some inability to, like, express myself. I don't know what it was, but, like, you would just do dumb stuff out of frustration and anger. I'm not saying that makes it okay. I'm just saying, like, that's why I think it's more likely to happen in that group, and in that group not be as acceptable. But, like, this is what society is. Like, society is full of just unwritten rules on how to behave and how to coexist, and we're always like navigating them and discussing them and stuff. And like, we're never all going to agree, right? But that's okay. This is just generational differences amplified by social media. The vast majority of people are going to complain about the kids these days their age, says Jay Shapt. I'm not so sure, because I've heard stories like this going back years of, like, every now and then there's some sort of movie that gets people to do something crazy. I don't know, like, if you study history, and like that can be history of like pop culture as well, there's just all these like things in it. The more you learn about it, there's like these little threads where you're like, oh, that's kind of like something that happens today or whatever. Like memes, for example. Like, some people think memes are like modern, but they've actually been around for ages. They're just collective jokes or collective musings or expressions. There were memes in like World War One. There was like a character or something that used to get spray painted on tanks, or, you know, like the soldiers would just spread it amongst them. It'd be like a little joke for them to share. Another really crazy thing that happened in the 70s, late 70s. Go look up the demolition Disco Derby. Kilroy, is that the name of the soldier? Yeah, Kilroy was here. There you go. Some of y'all know. Go look up the Demolition Disco Derby, right? Like, this isn't just kids. This is like adults and stuff. They celebrate their disdain for disco by burning disco records at a baseball game, and then it turns into a riot, and it is just so weird. And like, this is just an example again of like how there's all this like talk about moral degradation and kids these days and stuff, but then you go back in history and there's just constant examples of just bizarre human behavior. Bizarre human behavior. You think that was World War II? I'm fairly sure, like, I have a strong feeling it was World War I, but it could have been World War II. Like, I take a lot of stuff in a, like, sort of entertainment form, and I'm not out here, like, rigorously remembering facts correctly or whatever, right? So, I could be wrong, but I feel quite sure it was one. A couple of others you sent as World War II. I'm going to read chat for a little bit to see if any of y'all have got examples, if you're on the same wavelength for me. It repeats every generation despite the fact that we tell ourselves when we're young that we won't be that way when we get older. Yeah, and then you get older and you look back at that age and you're like, oh my goodness me, of course, right? But that's it, that's being young. The young people of today think that nothing but themselves. Oh my God, please don't. They have no reverence for parents or old age. Like, we're just lumping all the young people, right? They're all now nothing but them, think of nothing but themselves. Every single one of them, apparently. Like, I know you probably think there's room for wiggle room, but like these sorts of statements just aren't helpful. They are impatient of all restraint. They talk as if they know everything and what passes for wisdom with all of us. Wait, this is, sorry, Turing. This is a quote from Aristotle. Oh my God, wow. Whoa, wait. This is like, I get it now. This is like going back to the Greek. Is Aristotle Greek, right? The young people of the day think nothing but themselves. They have no reverence for parents of old age. They're impatient of all restraint. They talk as if they know everything, and what passes wisdom with us is foolishness with them. And Aristotle said that. Okay, brilliant. I'm with you now. That's great. That's a great way to put it. They said stuff like that all the way back then. You know, it is just history repeating itself. But pulling out Aristotle is that is a crazy move. That is straight up a crazy move. Someone's saying that about Gen Z though. I've heard people say that, and I just think like, oh my God, this is such a bad way to communicate. Like, my attitude is like, if you're going to talk to Gen Z, first of all, you know, you could probably learn a lot more about them by listening to what they have to say. Doesn't mean everything they say is right, but you'll only be thinking about it from your own perspective unless you learn to listen. So, like, listening to what they have to say is a good thing to do if you want to understand, right? But just projecting, like, these people who will project these big grand opinions about what's wrong with this generation compared to mine and stuff is so unhelpful. It's so unhelpful. I think Mario's in the right spot here. But yeah, so like Gen Zers can tell you about their experience, and then if you listen and really try to understand them, you, and in your years and all the things you've been through, might actually be able to offer them some sort of help or guidance. Like, I'm not talking about judgment or telling them where they're going wrong. It's just like, if you can hear what people have to say, you might have something to offer them, right? But what you're not going to offer them anything by telling them that they're lazy and blah, 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 whatever it is they say, you know. People acted like the millennials was the fault of everything years back. Yeah, it happens over and over again. Happens over and over again. I was watching 1923, and they go into this like jazz club. Actually, I think it's a speakeasy, and they've got like this like jazz music, and everyone's doing this like old school 1920s dance. And I was just chuckling at the idea of like seeing them laugh and thinking, "Oh, your generation are a bunch of degenerates, shaking your hips and waving your hands at each other." Because like there would have been people doing this same thing back then as well. There would have been people looking on at that dance and making the same remarks. It just happens over and over and over again. How do you feel about this generation destroying movie theaters? I feel like that is an intentionally jokey comment. Like, it's happened before. I know I've heard stories about crazy goings-ons in cinemas. This is not the first time. There's something wrong here. I'm building Mario wrong. Mario ain't built right. Put his thumbs in the wrong place. Poor old Mario. Yeah, like when Elvis was banned, says Becca. Yeah! Didn't Elvis ruin a generation of kids by shaking his hips? Did I catch the Oblivion remaster leaks? No. No, I didn't catch those Oblivion remaster leaks. Where did they leak? The pipes? Where was the leak? Did they call in a plumber? I really hope they did. Gosh. Don't want leaks going on in the old Oblivion remaster, wherever that is. Did you hear Pagani ruined out kids with his satanic skills? I did not hear that. It's a trope that the next generation will save us, guarantee. You can go back centuries with headlines like that too. You know, negative stuff has a sticky power with us, right? So like sentiments of like this generation will save us doesn't really like spring to mind that much for me. Like I'm not really remembering hearing something like that, but again, like it wouldn't surprise me if that's also like another thing that just seems to permeate from like one generation to another, like hoping, you know, flipping the coin basically, and people having an attitude of like this generation will save the world or whatever. But like that's got to be better. That's got to be more optimistic than what we're currently dealing with, right? What color do you think there should be? Wait, what? This is a message to someone else. We need new colors of wool. I'm not sure that we should, but I do think like now that it's just these 16 blocks, like we've got these 16 dyes, we've got these 16 this, 16 that. It does feel like maybe they could expand on that a little bit. Right, this is where I think I want to change this to like terracotta or something, because I don't like the pink wall, but we'll zoom out and see how it looks. I also gonna get like a dark grey color in here for the bit that was normally black. Curious question next. Do you have a specific section of history that you enjoyed researching or looking into, says Texture Ghost? Yeah, World War I and World War II have been like almost like obsessions at certain points in the past. Just I'm not like a I'm not like one of those like war and military is cool or anything like that. I'm more just like morbidly horrified at how destructive humanity can be in its darkest hours. And so World War I and II have like just endlessly fascinated me from that perspective. So I've gone like pretty deep on those two. I've also really enjoyed learning a lot about like the 60s, especially in American culture. Civil rights movements. I quite enjoy learning about what different presidents have done, sort of like 1900s onwards. There was also this really great series that was, it was funded by Tom Hanks. And the name of it, I forget, but like each different thing, and it's a DVD, is just named after the decade. So it started with like, I think the 50s, and then they did one on the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And it was kind of like telling the story of America and American history through television and pop culture. I like learning stuff like that as well, like just general kind of insights into the history of pop culture as well. But yeah, anything that's like historical and then has some sort of connection to today, like something you can learn from it, is generally kind of what I like. Like I want to come away thinking about how that happened then and what does it mean today, and get your noggin ticking over, right? Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers was like fictional. I love it, but I'm kind of talking about actual like historical documentaries and stuff. That's I guess another thing I really like. Like I like this channel called History Buffs, where I also like it where we separate fiction and history, because a lot of what we learn about history is often through like a movie, right? And movies are heavily fictionalized, and learning the differences between what's fictionalized and what's not, I think is important, because you can get the gist of something. You can get the gist of something from a movie, but it can also mislead you a little bit as well. When, like, sometimes you learn the specifics about something that happened and you realize, like, especially with a lot of war movies, I think a lot of war movies have, like, heroes and romances, like, tied up in them that are kind of, like, glorious and wonderful. But war itself is actually quite horrific. Like, I think a lot of World War I and World War II doesn't really have heroes. And doesn't have... There's something that accompanies war. It's like you got to tell this big, grand story to go along with it, to sort of justify it. And I think you had that in World War II. I don't think you had it as much after World War I, but you kind of get the impression that people sort of went along with things like that more. Whereas today, I think war is seen very differently. So if you think of like, probably like Vietnam onwards, most big wars, especially ones that America have been involved with, they don't have that like romanticism attached to it, or that big story to it anymore. If you learn about like the wars in Europe pre-1900s, a lot of it's told initially from the perspective of like the royalty that are in charge. You know, like they sign up all these incredibly desperate people to be conscripts in their armies, and then march at each other with rifle and horses, and then tell these grandiose stories about it. But now when you look at it from today, and you kind of just realize, like, who's writing this? Like, this is all this monarchistic storytelling, you know, like raising their own stature and stuff, and exclaiming the myth of the monarch. So you can kind of you can like look at it differently and say that these wars were often like petty and led by people who wanted to conquer and stuff. I think that's a lot to do with how media expanded over time. More content needed to fill more space. What do we... Elaborate, please. I think you might be saying something quite interesting there. Just, I don't know quite specifically what I said that ties to it. Do I like true crime? I did a lot when I was younger. I used to be really, like, fascinated by serial killers and stuff, but these days I find some of it just a bit too morbid. The one true crime thing I do like, actually, is, like, one of my favourite podcasts is Darknet Diaries, and that's, like... like stories about penetration testing and cybercrime and dark web crime and stuff like this, and you can call some of that true crime. Regarding how wars are reported on over time, yeah, well, when you say like more content needs to be filled in, I think as media becomes available to more people, it, like, if you look at where it's been taken away from, so I was just talking about like the monarchy, when you look back at like the wars of the 1800s across Europe, if you read about them in the context of their time, it's clearly like all driven by these monistic powers. But as over time, as the media frees up for more people to get involved, it means more of the people who went and died in those wars get to talk about it, right? Because it tends not to be that the people who start the wars and stuff have to fight in them, right? We all know this old adage that they talk about. That's why I think by the time you get to like the 60s and 70s with the Vietnam War, then the public narrative on wars has turned a lot more because we see how much horror and suffering there is. Whereas in the past, information that was available to you was different, and then you would just... I watched a movie about World War One from the perspective of these German young lads. It was on Netflix. I'd seen it before at one point, and I watched it again. I watched it with subtitles and German audio. And like their only information about the war was all this like for the state propaganda, you know, become a German soldier hero, and like they're all celebrating going to war. We're gonna, you know, go to war and become heroes and stuff, and then they go to war and it's a horror show. And I think it's like that. All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't think it was that movie, but that would probably be a similar story. Yeah, so like this is what happened in war. Like a lot of young people were told this is going to be glorious and amazing, and then they go off and, you know, see horrors and then die. See absolute unfathomable horrors and then die. So like in those previous times, the information came from, you know, an elite that ruled over the country, and they got to dictate the narrative and persuade people to come to war, and people used to come home and not even talk about it. Like, you didn't talk about what happened at war. Was it Das Boot? No, Das Boot is submarine warfare. It was not Das Boot. That's World War II movie. Very different story. Will I add Link and Zelda to this? I'm adding Link right now. I wasn't aware. Isn't Zelda just the name of the game and Link is the character, right? Keep in mind, especially for World War I and World War II, that much of the push to blame monarchistic empires is to hide the fact that much of what led to both wars was key individual influences and money control. I've heard so many theories on what causes wars, and I think economic forces and monetary forces are massive and often understated, for sure. But it also gets a little bit like political to say stuff like that, and it's hard for me to say because I guess I'm not really like that plugged into where my position is on this stuff. Like, it's just something I'm aware of, and like, again, you know, I don't study World War II. It's been a form of entertainment, if you can call it entertainment. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've seen people discuss those kind of things about like looking at what the bankers were doing with money during the wars, and you know, people selling guns to both sides and stuff. We're talking about wars here. Which part of the convo isn't political? I mean, like, at no point am I saying, like, this side or that side were right in this war or that war. Like, to me, all war is just a terrible situation that we put ourselves in. I don't think... Like, I think it gets political when you start to do more of the pointing the finger, right? There's some cases where you can point the finger and we tend to universally agree, yeah, that person's terrible or whatever. And then there's other areas where people don't see eye to eye on it. And I think looking at forces that are perhaps often outside of the usual narrative, that's where it gets a bit political. Like, it would be easy for you to extrapolate that I have some sort of ideology about how the world works if I start telling you that money caused World War II or something, right? Like, I don't know. It's an incredibly complex world with loads of things going on, but like, I find it interesting that you can at least look at it from that perspective, right? Gee Wish Weeb, thank you so much for the Prime subscription 10 minutes ago. I apologise for being late on that. I've just been waffling. Waffling. Have I seen any musicals that revolve around war, whether to be as a theme or something to a similar degree? I haven't, actually. I don't like musicals. Had some music on the other day, and I was just like, man, I never get into this. There's something about, like, the tone of that kind of music that just turns me off, which is weird because I like music so much, but musicals just somehow don't quite do it for me. Anyway, let's change the topic a bit here, as I have I remembered something I wanted to talk about last time I streamed. So on the charity live stream at Hermitcraft, Imp and Skiz had a question they were asked to answer, and immediately I was just like, I've thought about this so many times. Like, it is a question that fascinates me, and it is the old you are sent back in time and you have to convince people you are from the future, right? Important detail being that you're not allowed to bring anything from the future with you, so you go back just with your own personal knowledge. Now, when you go to this question, you try and think about it, what would you say, etc. Flip the narrative and ask yourself, like, have you ever been, like, sorry, not as if this has happened to you, but I mean, imagine someone tries to convince you they're from the future, okay? You're going to think they're a nutcase unless they show you some sort of device where you're like, oh my god, that is definitely future technology, right? And the further back you go in time, that will also probably translate to, oh my god, that's witchcraft and wizardry. You're a witch, let's burn you at the stake, right? Like, so flip the scale and imagine someone is trying to convince you that they're from the future. You're probably not going to believe them about any, like, physical evidence, right? So why would it be any different going back to the past? I don't think it would. I think it's one of those things where I genuinely think you're not going to be able to convince anyone. Unfortunately, it just can't be done. It's like a dead-end question for me. It's like, I don't think you could. I often, like, when I watch something like, what's the show with, what's his name, Rag? Oh, I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred. And his brother's name is, like, Rag. It's the same one as the show Vikings, but this is a different show I'm thinking of. Someone in chat is going to finish. What's the name that begins with R? It's not Ragnarok. That's like a mythic Norwegian beast or something. Ragnar, maybe? Just Ragnar? The Last Kingdom. Thank you, chat. Last Kingdom. Okay, the show is The Last Kingdom. It's set in the time of the Vikings. So, you know, kings and castles and churches everywhere. And the peasantry. That kind of era. That kind of era of time, right? And when I watch these shows, and I'm like, you see things in it that just make you think, oh, if only you knew. Like, when you see the dysentery they have to put up with, you're like, if only you knew about washing your hands. And then you think, unless you get sick and you could start to prosper, you know, if only you knew about fertilizer. But then imagine going back in time and trying to explain this stuff to them, right? We all have this kind of, like, conceptuality of how stuff works, but rarely do we have, like, an intimate knowledge of how stuff actually works. And if we do, we tend to not know all the steps to get from, like, A to B. So imagine, you know, the smartphone in your pocket, right? If you went back in time and explained to someone how a smartphone works, you know, it connects to the internet, find out what the weather is. You know, all these things are going to be like, what on earth are you talking about? But then if you were to try and recreate it, just imagine going down the different steps of technology that there are to make the phone happen. And you'll just find, like, 99.999% of this, you just don't know. You just couldn't recreate. You couldn't go out into the wild and start doing all this stuff. Even if you were pretty smart and well-versed in some of the areas, I don't know, material processing or whatever, like, you're going to get next to nowhere on your own. So imagine going back to that period in time and trying to explain certain things to, I don't know, like, imagine the king snaps you up and you say you're from the future and they lend you an ear, right? And now you gotta try and convince them. Like, what are the practical things you could tell them? Do you know how soap is made? Because you tell people to wash their hands and you convince them to do it and then they stop getting sick, you might get somewhere. That might be a good starting point. Do you know how soap is made? I heard it the other day. I literally heard how soap was made the other day and I've already forgotten. I'd make him a pizza. Right, but what if you went, where's the wheat? And they're like, what? Because, I mean, maybe they had wheat back then, but, you know, like, you start going for the ingredients and it's like, we don't have tomatoes here. Because, like, I don't think we have potatoes, right? Did we bring potatoes to America, or did potatoes come from America over to here? I forget. But, like, there'll be stuff that's missing. From the soap room, right? Fat and lye. That is correct. Fat and lye is how you make soap. Electricity from batteries, says Milo. Yeah, then how do you make a battery? Go outside, right? Go outside, go to a nearby forest and sit and say, I'm going to stay here for 24 hours. What will I come out of this forest with? Okay, don't be a smart ass and be like, I've got a phone in my pocket. All right, don't be like, oh, there's litter on the ground, or someone will walk by and give me some money and I'll buy something. Like, imagine being out in nature and making something with your bare hands. You won't make squat diddly. You'll dig a hole and poo in it, and that'll be all you'll do. You'll try and hunt food. You'll find out you're absolutely terrible at that. You might pick some mushrooms and make yourself very sick. Okay? You're going to wee up a tree. That's going to be the highlight of what you did that day. Okay, you could probably gather sticks and make a shelter. That's a good one. Yo, Angry Canine, legendary, 120 months. Absolutely. Achievement get, Stalking the Void, yes. That's a good term for it. And now you get the new emote in chat, Goldie Face Evil X. Legendary indeed. Welcome to the 10-year club, my friend. Just realised, yeah, 10 years. We don't have an animation for that, but dang, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you, my dude. 10 years here on Twitch. Yo, Daredevil 2300, thank you for 3 months with the Prime. You're just a baby with your 1 month streak. Indeed, indeed. Bram Barocco, thank you for 4 months. Much appreciated, my dude. Thank you for the support. Yo, Hilma, you asked this question the other day. Xisuma, how do you deal with sadness? That is a great question. Lift weights. That is strangely almost an actual answer that I would give. How do you deal with sadness? No, let's get serious. Let's get serious. Everyone has their down days. Some of us have them more than others. You can get trapped. Sometimes things happen in life and you're stuck in those bad places. How do you deal with it, though? First of all, it's like, we're saying, how do you deal with it? There ain't an answer to it where you can make it go away. You're going to go through things in life. It's always going to come and go. You're going to have ups and downs. So, in terms of like, how do you deal with it? How do you get through it? Because it'll come again. How do you get past this one? Decana Heaven says, get good. That's it. Yeah, just get good at life, man. Come on. Get good at life. The more you know yourself, the better chance I think you have at figuring out what works for you. And how do you get to know yourself? Well, it might be different for every person, so who would I be to tell you how to know yourself? But what has helped me tremendously in recent years, because in different points in time it's different things. In recent years for me it's been meditation. Just understanding the nature of one's own mind a little more, where it goes when you try to calm it down, when you're trying not to think. What happens? Tells you a lot about yourself, where your mind goes and stuff. I am like a chronic planner. I seem to constantly try and shape up the next couple of days, like the next hours to days. It feels like my mind's always got to have a plan of what's in front of me. And on days where I'm like anxious and stuff, that can become a problem. And on days when I'm happy, that can be a pleasure to plan and figure out and stuff, right? But in terms of dealing with the sadness, I've learned over time that there are certain things I need to do to make my response to that reasonable, because there are things that happen that you should be sad about, and it's part of the grieving process. But I wasn't joking when I was saying lifting weights. Like, regular exercise is a really important thing for me, because when I don't exercise regularly, my brain quickly goes to a dark place. I don't know if that's a chemical imbalance or what, but it is a truth that I have learned over time. It is easy for me to, yeah, drift in the wrong direction if I don't take care of myself. Binge eat a bunch of food. Works, but not really, since you'll feel bad either, so I don't recommend. Yeah, that is not... I don't think that's good advice. That's a, you know, unproductive, self-destructive behavior. I mean, but if that's something you do to deal with it, like if you identify that you do that, then you can perhaps learn to change that, perhaps. Anyway, Matt Kimball says distractions of some kind. 5 minutes at a time, soon turns to 10, 1 hour, and then you go the whole day. I don't know if distraction is a good idea. I heard Martin say something really cool on the charity stream about a rule of sevens, which is to ask yourself how much you care about something in 7 seconds, 7 minutes, like, and find out where the thing is, right? I thought that was a super interesting little exercise. If it turns out you're not going to care in X amount of time, then you learn something and you deal with it, right? Like, and it gives you something to work with. So obviously, if you realize you're not going to care about this in 7 seconds, well, you don't even have to do anything really. Just let the time pass. 7 minutes, maybe take a break from what you're doing, go have a cup of tea. 7 hours, all right, the next part of your day's rough. How are we going to get through this? You know, like, gives you something to work with. I thought it was a really interesting idea. You always go out and ride your bike for an hour. It clears your head. That is a good idea, I believe. Yo, Angry K9 coming in with some gifted subs. What a legend. Thank you, my dude. Ben Irving, Big Al here, Peeper Tudor, Neepa Free, Dream Deluge. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks to Angry K9, second member of the Stalking the Void Club, I guess. Appreciate it. Rule of tens. Ah, well, there you go. You know, like 10, 7, 5, 6, whatever the number is, the metric will be useful, I imagine. Yeah, what about your ways of dealing with sadness, chat? So I guess for me, if it's I have a down day, it's like I need to reflect and analyze at some point on like why I'm feeling this way, and then I also need to take the right steps towards... Something's wrong here. Wait, something's really off. I feel like I'm constantly looking back and forth and seeing... Oh, no, wait. I can't pin down what's wrong with this. It's very odd. Oh, no, I'm starting to see what's wrong with it now, and I don't like it. Because it means everything I've built down here is wrong. I made a mistake just here. This should be like that. Whoopsie. Actually, oh my god, this could be a big mistake then, because that's not that either. Well, I have been waffling. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to have to rebuild a lot of this. That's alright. Music is therapy. Yeah, music helps a heck of a lot. Heck of a lot. You get triggered from old bad memories, so I always try to find out what I am reacting to, says Obel Hummum. Me too, actually. Yeah, I have a lot of triggers that set me off. Things where it's just like, oh, that's going to make me feel this way now. And like, despite knowing these things, it's still very, you know, some emotions can be very deep-rooted in you. And tricky to deal with. But yeah, I know exactly what you're getting at with that. Do I have a link to that pixel art? No, I don't. I just saved the image off of the search, so I could rebuild it. Now that, I think, is definitely correct. Definitely correct. You live by the beach, so when you're feeling bad, you generally go out and walk by the sea. That sounds great. That sounds great. I immediately remember last summer, a walk I went on down the beach. It was just absolutely gorgeous. It was like the perfect day for it. Although I can imagine though, like in the cold season, the beach can be a pretty hostile place, I'd imagine. But yeah, that must be, you know, yeah, Mother Nature is hugely therapeutical. I mean, we live so detached from Mother Nature sometimes, it's crazy. Just being inside boxes all the time. Like, you go outside. I said this in, I think, the last stream. The other day, I'd just been, got sucked into all this stuff about, like, tariffs and the chaos of the world and getting all caught up in it and not realizing how, like, subtly it makes you feel anxious. Like, you can easily get anxious about stuff without really realizing it sometimes. Anyway, so it's like getting to me without me fully realizing it. And I remember just having enough of it. I'm like, oh, I'm just sick of listening to this, actually. And then, like, take off my headset, and all of a sudden, I'm just listening to the sound of birds chirping, wind in the trees, children laughing, dogs barking, and it was so peaceful. It just hit me. I was just like, oh, this is it. You know, the sun is shining. Just enjoy it, like. And since then, I've really toned down on the listening to YouTube thing. I hope I can keep that going though, because, dang, I say it time and time again that it just feels like it wastes a lot of time. Yo, that Jewish weeb, thanks so much for the gifted subs. Spooder21, Cancel the Pecans, Cappy Jack, Amaleiku, Soup Can Super Slam, Teku Guy, Mad Maddie, Bambi48, Paige Malo, Makir18, Impamelez, Akandrian, Lars Starzan, Wilco, Jimmy J, Purple Dinosaur, Mishixes, Zadan, Tyvane, Macabre, and Natoriety. Yo, when gifted subs, be sure to say thanks to that Jewish weeb in the chat. We appreciate it, we appreciate it. Raven says, I try to skip that content. I know I'm supposed to know what's happening in the world, but it gets overwhelming sometimes. Hey, take a break. Take a break, see how you feel. If you're getting that feeling, just do it. Take the break. Yo, to all the peeps who just got gifted subs, if you did not know, this gives you access to our Patreon community. You can go to xisumavoid.com/getwhitelisted. You can hook up this sub that you have. You can use Prime subs, you can use any type of sub, you can join the community. Since it's been a variety stream today, you know, Hermit Crafts, Snapshot, why don't we like also just go hop on LPM4, which is probably, no, is it 1.21.4? It is, yep. Let's just hop over here. Here's where I logged out. What's been happening since? Yeah, I think we just got more gifted subs coming in. To Xisuma from Blue. My dude! Yo! Gifts! Oh, this is great because I want to come on here and get geared up at some point. Oh! There's now... Oh, we got things to see. This is my starter house. And the door's missing. My plan here... and I've visited by a snail who's left a snail trail. Oh, gosh. A companion has indeed appeared. My plan here was just to build something literally on the first day of playing. So it's not that great to look at, but like, this is what I could build with oak and birch trees nearby and like deep slate and tough from underground. It was a fun little exercise. Fun little exercise. Yo, TBNR Woods is here. Gifting subs to Molly Strawberry, Raptilian, Midwest Gamer, Renshoff, Kitty Kaz, Grapfreut, Mighty Thornton, Velvet Boop, Delinia, and Mukania. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. TBNR, thank you so much for supporting the community here. Neon Kelly coming in with a subscription as well. Mushio appreciate. I appreciate. So yeah, this is the server that you can be a part of if you are subscribed to this channel. At some point in the future, I kind of plan on coming on here. The thing is, that craft mine snapshot that I played, that kind of took a lot of my... I swear I was about to do that anyway. It took away a lot of my like early game energy, and when that comes back again, which I'm sure it will soon, I'm going to come on here, and my plan is to go to the resettable dimensions, which is a really cool feature that we have. Now, oh my god, things are going to pop into existence because the community has been building the spawn together. They've been hosting events where everyone shares a schematic and everyone can join in with like the building. I think probably with the collection of materials as well. So the spawn hub area has started to come together. And the building here, yes, you may have noticed, is absolutely incredible, right? This stuff is gorgeous. It's wonderful. And then I think I've got a bit of a shopping district over here. So there are plans for like rails going in the 4 different directions. And then different communal projects in different areas. This looks like a lot of like, just put down a chest. That's my shop. It's just like, put down a chest. Oh, we got Winnie's art here again from last season. That's awesome. But then around the chests, we're starting to get some proper shops here and there. It's very cool. As I fly around, you might see more stuff pop into existence because Bobby Mod needs updating for all these chunks around the outside. That was just the chest loading in. So then there's some communal areas, but I'm pretty sure I'm going in the wrong direction for that. Got a bit of a tree. Bit of a tree. I think one of the communal areas was this direction. You're planning a proper shopping area. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like planning ahead in this community. Here you go. You can see the rails kind of changing as we approach this communal area. You'll probably start to see... yep, like builds will just magically finish themselves. That is gorgeous. Gradients. Look at these gradients up here. Woohoo! Things are pop. I love the way they pop into existence on top of what was there before. They're so much fun. Dude, that is a crazy building. That is like some New York City stuff right there. The circus. Yeah, there's a circus tent. I noticed this over here. This caught my eye. There was a really cool mushroom, like, starter base build in the Minecraft movie that I thought would be a pretty cool thing to, like, emulate. Like, when the movie comes out on streaming or DVD or whatever, like, you get your screenshots. You could rebuild that. Could be a lot of fun. I think this shop sells Rubik's Cubes. I could be mistaken, though. Pretty sure they're Rubik's Cubes, right? Just got to rotate them, line them up. What server is this? It's the Let's Play Minecraft Together server, which is a home for our subscribers here on Twitch. Dude, this tunnel is long. And it leads to a spot I haven't been before. There's more communal areas out here as well. Loads of people just building amazing builds and stuff all over the place. There's a lot of talent on here. That's really bold to mix dark prismarine and Pax mud. That is tricky. I think the tough kind of acts like a bit of a glue there. In fact, tough and dark prismarine look pretty dope next to each other, don't they? This is cool. Very good use of like the color transition here. And a nice wizarding tower of witchery. Or is it a witchy tower of wizardry? I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the server. These are really good and cool buildings, yeah. They definitely are. Tough and dark prismarine make for a dope tower. They do, they do. And here's my little humble abode. It's been very humbled now, hasn't it? Been very humbled, my friends. Alright, I just noticed what the time was. Goodness me, I'm losing track of time today. Gonna wrap it up right here, my friends. I hope you've been entertained. I'll go find someone to raid. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I won't be able to stream tomorrow evening. I'm hoping to stream Thursday next. So, you know, follow me here. And you'll see me when you see me, I guess. I won't be able to stream Friday, I know that. So Thursday might be the next one. Let's go raid. Let's go raid. Alright, thank you everyone. Much appreciate your support as always. Hope you enjoyed the waffles. We'll go raid Linksy today. Sending you over to Linksy. Stick around for more Minecraft. Take care everyone. Have a great rest of your day.